What is going on, guys? Samuel from Samuel One World Productions here, back with another popular list to continue on with my series of the videos discussing my favorite movies from 1996 to 2022. We're now at 1999. Well, now I'm talking about the 10 best movies of 1999. Movie that's actually a lot more packed with great movies than I was expecting, so definitely wasn't easy to put together, but I picked the 10 movies I think are the best out this year. And something who's out there for almost my favorites of all time, so that's interesting. So let's talk about the best films of 1999, but before we do that, first let's get into the honorable mentions. The films that were still amazing, just barely missed the list. I still pretty much love all these movies, so just a heads up as the films I'm on mentions are Deep Blue Sea, Ed TV, 10 Things I Hate About You, Eyes Wide Shut, Galaxy Quest, Never Been Kissed, Notting Hill, Runaway Bride, Boys Don't Cry, and the film that just unfortunately missed my list, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Those are maybe the best. Those are the films that just missed the list. So let's get on to the actual list, shall we? Kicking off the list at number 10, we have Big Daddy. Yeah, I know one of those films on this list that I have grew up watching, so I've always loved Big Daddy, and honestly, it's still a great movie. It's, in my opinion, one of the best Adam Sandler movies, and the one that better utilizes talent. Of course, some of his movies, playing just a man-child, and he kind of plays that here, but in a more realistic way, honestly. And he gets probably one of his better performances that he has given in these comedies. And you got a young Cole Sprouse, and it's kind of, young Dylan Cole Sprouse, and it's kind of interesting seeing that someone who grew up with the original Susan Stephen Cody and also Cody and as with the chemistry between Adam Sandler and Dylan Cole Sprouse is kind of what makes this movie so fun to watch, is the chemistry and the back and forth. Seeing kind of man-child trying to take care of a little kid and do some odd things, honestly, but it's a little bit back and forth, and for comedy it has some nice surprises. It just sums up in a very more realistic way than you wouldn't expect, honestly. So yeah, I've always enjoyed Big Daddy. It's definitely one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, and honestly, still is. Now from one childhood classic to another childhood classic, we have the original Mummy. Again, another one of those films that I feel has definitely aged the more it went on, especially all of the sequels that we've gotten and everything, and a lot of the other franchises that we have gotten. Honestly, but honestly, some people probably seen the other sequels and of course the Scorpion King and even the 2017 movie. I still think the original Mummy is the best of this franchise without bar none, because it's one of the movies, for one, kind of knows what more wants to go for, doesn't have like the terrible CGI, actually has more interesting characters, has a really compelling narrative. It's not the most compelling in the world, but it's definitely one of those films that knows what it is and embraces the goofiness, the charm, Ben Fraser has always been an awesome actor, and he definitely nails that charisma here. I think it's one of the reasons why this movie is so much fun to watch and so entertaining to watch. I always have a big grin on my face whenever I come back to this movie, and just brings so much nostalgia. Again, the action is really well done, the directing is right, honestly. It's just a film that I think has aged a lot better. I think people got more around to it, because I think more around to it. They kind of get mixed reviews when it came out, but it's got obviously more of a classic and everything, and there's just so much to enjoy about the original Mummy. I probably think that we go from a Adam Sandler comedy from an action adventure movie to basically a film that's heart wrenching at number 8, and that is The Green Mile. I don't think I won't lie to you. If it was for the length of this movie also could have been much higher on this list. I think because the length of this one movie that I don't really rewatch all that often. Like, obviously I don't mind long movies, but it's really one of those movies that, because of how long it is and the story that they're telling and the emotion that it tells, it's not a movie that's the easiest to watch. It's not from that. It's one of the films that's not the easiest to watch, considering the subject matter and the storytelling and the heart wrenchingness of it. It's also based on a Stephen King novel and everything. But there's still lots of love with the amazing directing. Tom Hanks did one of his best performances. Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. Also, probably might be his best performance he has ever given in his career in this movie. And you got a great cast as well, with everybody as well. You know, you got a very compelling narrative that really keeps you guessing throughout. It has probably one of the most heart-wrenching deaths in any film period. Not just again, it's one of those emotional movies that, as someone who kind of watch a lot of those movies a lot of times, this is one of those that I don't really see myself kind of back to, mostly because of the length, honestly. Not that it like drags or anything. It's actually paced pretty well, actually. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not in the mood to actually rewatch a Green Mile, honestly. It's kind of one of those, like, watch every now and then kind of movies, honestly. But that doesn't take away anyway from the impact this movie is and how emotional, how heart-wrenching it gets. So it definitely still earns a place on this list. Now, at number 7, and then we go from an emotional one to one of the most hilarious R-rated comedies that has ever been made, and that is the original American Pie. And I've not seen all the sequels that have came out of this movie, honestly. I've only seen one or two of them a couple times, but even I think the original American Pie is still the best, honestly. It's one of the best R-rated comedies of all time. Again, this is one of those R-rated comedies that's classic for a freaking reason. It's pretty much one of these definitive R-rated comedies of what people expect from an R-rated comedy, like with the type of humor that they tell and a lot of raunchiness and the insanity that goes on with this. Yeah, despite some dated aspects in a couple of areas, this film's still a blast to watch, honestly. It's all the right notes that you want from an R-rated comedy, with the raunchiness, the interesting characters, the interesting story, the fun, hilarious things, but also having a lot of heart too as well, which is kind of what you want from an R-rated comedy, and again, it still delivers. And it's classic for a freaking reason. Now, do you want to hear something interesting? My top 6 of 1996, like these top 6 movies of films, I would probably put in my favorite movies of all time. I pretty much adore all 6 of these movies, and yeah, I would put them in my favorite films of all time. That's how good they are, honestly. And something I'm probably classic that you probably wouldn't know that I'm probably not going to say much about, but I'm still talking about them anyway, and I still do love all 6 of these movies. It's definitely hard which one, the ones that are going to be up, honestly, so there what you will. So coming in 6, we have another Disney animated movie, and that is the animated Tarzan. Tarzan! Yes. Again, another Disney anime I've always loved growing up. I always loved watching. I always enjoy watching. Yeah, but again, I've always loved the original Tarzan. It's honestly one of my favorite Disney animated movies, if being honest. Like, again, I guess that's my favorite of all time, but it's also my favorite animated movies. It's a film that has a really sweet and heartwarming story. Tarzan and Jane are very likable and have a lot of great banter with each other. And Courage is a really compelling villain. It has one of the most harrowing deaths ever. The animation still holds up very well today. The storytelling is really compelling with nice surprises. And You'll Be My Heart is a freaking banger. And pretty much all the music in this movie in general is freaking banger. It's probably one of my favorite Disney soundtracks, honestly. Honestly, the film has great music, great animation, great heart, and great characters, and I just always adored this movie. And along with also having some really hilarious stuff as well. So, again, another Disney anime classic for a reason. You're now in the top 5, people, and number 5, we have The Sixth Sense. The film that basically put M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, or M. Night Shyamalan, into the stratosphere. And it's one of the movies that I don't think I need to say why it's on this list, and it's still one of his best movies that has one of the best twist endings ever made. Bruce Willis gives one of his best performances ever. Andrew Hopkins, when, of course, he was going to be a great star, but unfortunately, he's not great. The only great thing he has done is pretty much do Sora in Kingdom Hearts. Yes, he's voiced Sora in Kingdom Hearts. But again, what I need to say about Sixth Sense hasn't already been said. It is an incredible thriller, and the twist is incredible, and we'll talk for it all now. It definitely makes me reanalyze the movie in a different way, but in the best possible way. It's directed very well, and it's incredibly acted. It's an iconic line, of course, the iconic, I see dead people. So, what else can I say? Now, at the number 4, we have The Iron Giant. Again, another animated classic. Again, I've rewatched this movie countless times growing up. I've always loved The Iron Giant. Like, it's one of the classic anime movies that, unfortunately, when it came out, I pretty much, like, bombed big time. But now it's going to be a big classic. And also, it's from the kind of put Brad Bird on the map. Of course, he's done The Incredibles, and a couple of Pixar movies, and of course, Tomorrowland, and Mission Impossible Goes Protocol. And The Iron Giant is still a classic. I've been short like an animated movie, but it tells a pretty compelling story with some pretty harrowing stuff. A very back and forth between a kid and the Iron Giant. There's just so much to really enjoy about this movie, and so much emotion happening. Like the iconic Superman's like Superman thing, like gets me every time. Again, what else can I say about this movie? It's a cult classic for a reason. I've always enjoyed coming back to this movie, and it's definitely one of my favorite anime movies of all time. Like I said, my top 6 are pretty much my favorite movies of all time, so what it's interesting putting that together. Now, in top 3, people, and then number 3 on this list, we have the first Pixar movie to make these lists, and that is Toy Story 2. Spoiler alert, a lot of the Pixar movies are going to make it pretty high on these lists, just because, again, I adore classic Pixar, and I even adore a lot of the modern movies, honestly, which I know is definitely... Again, I'm a huge Pixar fanatic. I watched the movies countless times growing up, and I just fucking adored their films. And after the original Toy Story is classic, I thought it was great, but it wasn't probably enough to make the actual list. They are mentions, honestly, think about it. But either way, but yeah, Toy Story 2 is another sequel. Again, it was originally going to be a direct-to-DVD sequel, but that it'd be good enough to actually be released in theaters. And good thing, because it's so beloved for a goddamn reason. And again, I always debate which one's my least favorite Toy Story movie, honestly. I would say not Toy Story 4 because I still do love that movie. Again, all 4 Toy Story movies, in my opinion, are classics and perfect animated movies, which hope it doesn't get ruined with Toy Story 5 coming out, which why they're doing that, I have no freaking idea. But that's a story for another day and everything, but so Toy Story 2 is still an incredible sequel that really builds off the original movie. It's brought a lot more interesting themes and everything. And animation is still incredible and definitely a lot more better than the dated one in the original movie. So I still doesn't really bother me, but again, we don't agree the original anime movie was kind of dated, honestly, but at least in terms of animation. The animation is still amazing here. The characters are still wonderful, exhilarating, vibrant, tackling with new themes and new ideas with these characters, but where you basically just about being thrown away and then being put on display for the rest of his life and conflict with that. You get an actually good twist villain in this movie, actually. Jessie is also a great supporting character again. And also, When She Loved Me still breaks my heart to this very day. Still one of the best songs that Disney has ever done. One of the best song Disney or Pixar has ever done, or any animation song, period, or just any song in general in film. That whole scene still breaks me, and you get some fun action set pieces as well. Again, the whole Zurg sequence and the whole new Buzz sequence always gets me every time. So yeah, I still do the Toy Story 2. Again, like I mentioned before, you'll see a lot of Pixar movies high up on these lists, spoilers, because again, I love Pixar so much, and Toy Story 2 is definitely one of the best. Now, at number 2, we have The Matrix. What do you want me to say about Matrix hasn't already been said? No, I'm serious. What else can I add to say about Matrix? I mean, it's a movie that basically is iconic for a reason. It's still an incredible action movie that people are pretty much like trying to rip off ever since it came out with the whole bullet time sequence and the whole slow motion. I mean, it's still incredibly great narrative and fantastic films. Again, what else can I say about this movie? Just that's not number 1 somehow on this list. But Matrix is still one of the best action movies ever made, so I don't need anything anymore. And now, my number 1 favorite movie of 1999 is... my number 1 is Fight Club. Oh no, I said about Fight Club. I asked you, but yeah, Fight Club. I always love this movie. In my opinion, it's in my opinion the best film that David Fincher has done. David Fincher has created some incredible work, honestly, and some amazing films. But again, I've always left a lot towards Fight Club. I've always adored this movie so much. So much for me. It's an incredible and great narrative that's very unique and told in this movie, honestly, and Brad Pitt gets probably his best performance here, along with Edward Norton as well. You get some incredible acting performances from across the board. You get some incredible directing, some top-notch fight sequences, along with having like one of the best twists that has ever been put in a film, period. So the film that really just immerses me every single time I come back to it. And it's probably the best that David Fincher has done, honestly. Honestly, great compelling narrative, fantastic character work, fantastic acting, gorgeous cinematography, Again, some great surprises, and again, another film I don't think I need to say why it's amazing, because it's another iconic film for a reason. But overall, I say it's why I find Claw, in my opinion, from the impact it has had, and just the film that I always get so insight to when I do watch it again. In fact, it is my favorite adventure movie. It is why it is my number one favorite movie of 1999. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing one of the other 10 best movies in 1999. I would love to know down below in the comment section. What are your favorite movies of this year so far? And what are your favorite movies of the 1999, which is, was a big year for music and tell. But I would love to know down below in the comment section what the films I should have added on this list. I would love to know down below. Again, I'm going to start with the 2000s when we get to the next one, so that's definitely exciting, honestly. It'll start a new century, and, we can get to some really amazing movies, so, yeah. Hope you guys have been enjoying this series so far. Thank you guys so much for watching, I really appreciate it. I am Samuel Wilmore from Samuel Productions. I will see you next time, as always. Stay cool, love about it. Peace.